She'll live.
Thank God.
You're a couple of lucky parents. I can tell you now, I thought she wouldn't.
Nonsense. The child's a killer. She has the constitution of a goat. She'll outlive us all.
Yes, especially if some of you Kellers don't get a night's sleep. I mean you, Miss Keller.
You hear, Katie?
I hear.
I brought up 2 of them. This is my wife's first. She's not battle-scarred yet.
Doctor, don't be merely concerned. Will my girl be all right?
Oh, I expect by morning she'll be knocking down Captain Keller's fences again.
And isn't there anything we should do?
Put up stronger fencing, huh?
Just let her get well. She knows how to do it better than we do. The main thing is the fever's gone. These things come and go in infants. You never know why. Call it acute congestion of the stomach and brain.
I'll see you at your buggy, Doctor.
I have never seen a baby with more vitality, and that's the truth.
Hush. Don't you cry now. You've been trouble enough. Call it acute congestion indeed. I don't see what's so cute about a congestion. Is it just because it's yours? We'll have your father running editorial in his paper, the wonders of modern medicine. They don't know what they're curing, even when they cure it. Men and their battle scars. We women will have to. We'll have... Helen? Helen? Captain! Captain, will you come? Captain!
Hey, what's wrong?
Look!
What, Katie? She's fine. She only needs
She
time
can't
to...
see! Look at her eyes! She can't see!
Helen?
Oh, here! When I screamed, she didn't blink! Not an eyelash!
Helen! Helen!
She can't hear you!
Helen!
First, I'm gonna cut off these Stock's legs. 1, 2. Now then,
Why are you cutting off that doctor's legs?
I'm gonna give him an operation. Now, I'm gonna cut off his arm. 1, 2. Now I'm gonna fix up his... You stop that!
Cut off his stomach. That's a good operation.
Now, I'm gonna cut off his head first. He got a bad cold.
Ain't gonna be much of that doctor left to fix up. Time you finish all them oh.
What'd you do about her hand?
Well, that's how I do. She keep poking her fingers in my mouth. I just bite them off.
What you trying to do now?
She's trying to talk. She gonna get mad. Look at her trying to talk.
Hey, you stop now. You still fighting with all these things.
Get on! Let go!
Let me have those scissors!
Well, she only dug Martha's eyes out. Almost dug. It's always almost. No point in worrying until it happens, is there?
does she stand it? Why haven't you seen this Baltimore man? It's not something you can let go on and on like the weather.
Well, the weather does not ask permission of me, Aunt Ed. Speak to my father.
Arthur, something ought to be done for that
A
child.
refreshing suggestion, what?
Why, this very famous oculist in Baltimore I wrote you about. Now, what was his name?
Dr. Chisholm.
Why, yes. There are lots of cases of blindness people thought couldn't be cured. He's cured. Why, he just does wonders. Why don't you write to him?
I stopped believing in wonders.
I think the captain will write to him soon. Won't you, Captain?
No.
Good money after bad, or bad after good, or bad after bad.
Well, if it's just a question of money, now, Arthur, you're marshal. You have all this Yankee money. Well, you might
Not
as well-
money. The child's been to specialists all over Alabama and Tennessee. If I thought it'd do any good, I'd have her to every fool doctor in this country.
I think the captain will write to him soon.
Katie, how many times can you let them break your heart?
Any number of times.
What, child?
As long as there's the least chance for her to see or hear.
There isn't. Now I must finish here.
I think, with your permission, Captain, I'd like to write.
I said no, Katie.
Oh, well, writing does no harm, Arthur. Just a little bitty letter to see if he can help
He
you.
can't.
We won't know that to be a fact, Captain, until after you write.
Katie, he can't.
Father stands up, that makes it a fact.
You be quiet. I'm battered enough here by females without your influence. Katie, I might as well try to work in a hen yard as in this house.
You really ought to put her away, Father.
What?
Well, some asylum, it's the kindest thing.
Why, James, she's your sister, not a nobody.
Half sister, and half mentally defective. Well, she can't even keep herself clean. It's not pleasant to see her about all the time.
Do you dare complain of what you can't see?
This discussion is at an end. Oh, thank you not to broach it again, Ev. I've done as much as I can bear. I can't give my whole life to it. The house is at 6s and 7s, from morning to night over the child. It's time some attention was paid to Mildred here instead.
You'll wake her up, Captain.
I want some peace in this house. I don't care how. But one way we won't have it is by rushing up and down this country every time someone hears of a new quack. I'm as sensible to this affliction as anyone. It hurts me to look at the girl.
It was not our affliction I meant you to write about, Captain.
Oh, Helen, my buttons.
Eyes? She wants the doll to have eyes.
Oh, my goodness me. Well, I'm not decent.
She doesn't know better, Aunt Ev. I'll sew them on again.
Never learn with everyone letting her do anything she takes into her mind to do.
You be quiet.
What did I say now?
You talk too much.
I was agreeing with you.
Whatever it was, deprived child, the least she can have are the little things she wants.
It's worth a couple of buttons, Kate. Look. Why, this child has more sense than all these men fellows. Is there any way to reach that money?
Helen!
Helen! Helen, you're not to do such things! How can I make you understand?
Katie,
How can I get it into your head, my darling?
Katie, some way of teaching her an iota of discipline has
How
to
can
be.
you discipline an afflicted child? Is it her fault?
I didn't say it was her fault.
Then whose? I don't know what to do. How can I teach her? Beat her till she's black and blue?
It's not safe letting her run around loose. There must be a way of confining her somehow so she can...
Well, in a cage? She's a growing child. She has to use her limbs.
Answer me one thing. Is it fair to Mildred here?
Are you willing to put her away?
Now what?
She wants to talk be like you and me. Every day she slips further away. And I don't know how to call her back.
Oh, I've a mind to take her to Baltimore myself. Well, if that doctor can't help her, maybe he'll know who can.
I'll write the man, Katie.
school could do nothing for the girl, of course. It was Dr. Alexander Graham Bell who thought somehow she might be taught. I have written the family only that a suitable governess, Miss Annie Sullivan, has been found here in Boston and will come. It will no doubt be difficult for you there, Annie. But it has been difficult for you at our school, too, Gratifying, yes, when you came to us and could not spell your name, to accomplish so much here in a few years. But always an Irish battle for independence. This is my last time to counsel you, Annie, and you do lack some, and by some I mean all, what, tact or talent to bend to others? And what has saved you here at Perkins on more than one occasion is that there was nowhere to expel you to. Your eyes hurt?
My ears, Mr. Anagnos.
Nowhere but back to Tewksbury, where children learn to be saucy. Annie, I know how dreadful it was there. But that battle is dead and done with. Why not let it stay buried?
I think God must owe me a resurrection.
What?
Well, he keeps digging up that battle.
That is what I mean, Annie. That is not a proper thing to say.
Yes, but I know what I'm like. What's this child like?
Like?
Well, bright or dull to start off.
No one knows. And if she is dull, you have no patience with this?
Oh, in grown-ups you have to, Mr. Anagnos. I mean, in children it just seems a little precocious. Can I use that word?
Only if you can spell it.
Premature. So I hope at least she's a bright one.
Deaf, blind, mute, who knows? She's like a little safe locked that no one can open. Perhaps there is a treasure inside.
Maybe it's empty, too.
Possible. I should warn you, she is much given to tantrums.
Means something is inside. Well, so am I if I believe all I hear. Maybe you should warn them.
Annie, I wrote them no word of your past history. You will find yourself among strangers who know nothing of it.
Well, we'll keep them in a state of blessed ignorance.
Perhaps you should tell them of it.
Why? I have enough trouble with people who don't know.
So they will understand when you have trouble.
The only time I have trouble is when I'm right. Is it my fault it's so often? I won't give them trouble, Mr. Anagnos. I'll be so ladylike they won't notice I've come.
Annie, be humble. It is not as if you have so many offers to pick and choose. You will need their affection working with this child.
I hope I won't need their pity.
Oh, we can all use some pity. So, you are no longer our pupil. We throw you into the world a teacher, if the child can be taught. No one expects you to work miracles, even at $25 a month. Now, in this envelope alone, for the railroad, which you will repay me when you have a bank account. But in this box, a gift with our love. I think other friends are ready to say goodbye.
Oh, Mr. Anagnos. Dear Mr. Anagnos, Well, what should I say? I'm an ignorant, opinionated girl, and everything I am I owe to you.
That's only half true, Annie.
Which half? I crawled in here like a drowned rat. I thought I died when Jimmy died. But I would never again come alive. Well, you say with love. So easy. And I haven't loved a soul since. I never will, I suppose. But this place gave me more than my eyes back, or taught me how to spell, which I'll never learn anyway. With all the fights and the trouble I've been here, it taught me what help is, and how to live again. And I don't want to say goodbye. Don't open the door. I'm crying.
They will not see.
Annie?
Here, Beatrice.
You
shouldn't have.
We did. Presents. Don't go away, Annie. Alice has it. Alice. Where's Alice? Here I am. Where? Here.
I have it. I have it, everyone. Should I open it?
Quiet. Is it open, Annie?
It's open.
They're for your eyes, Annie.
Put them on, Annie.
Because Mrs. Hopkins said your eyes hurt since the operation.
And she said you're going where the sun is fierce.
I'm putting them on now.
Don't go where the sun is fierce, Annie. Do they fit all right?
Oh, they fit just fine.
Are they pretty, Annie?
My eyes feel hundreds of % better already. And pretty. Why, do you know how I look in them? Splendiloquent. Like a racehorse.
There's another present.
Beatrice.
We have a present for Helen, too. Give it to her, Beatrice.
Here, Annie. It's for Helen.
And we took up a collection to buy it.
And Laura dressed it.
It's beautiful.
So don't forget, be sure to give it to Helen. From us, Annie.
I promise it will be the first thing I give her. If I don't keep it for myself, that is. You know I can't be trusted with dolls.
Don't go to Helen, Annie.
Sarah, dear, I don't want to go.
Then why are you going?
Because I'm a big girl now. And big girls have to earn a living. It's the only way I can. But if you don't smile for me first, what I'll just have to do is...
What?
Put you in my suitcase instead of this doll, and take you to Helen in Alabama.
Come, children. We must get the trunk into the carriage and Annie into her train, or no one will go to Alabama. Come.
Bye, Annie. Don't forget us.
Bye, Annie. We love you, Annie.
Remember to write to us every day.
Bye, Annie. Bye, Annie. Where are we going, honey?
Jimmy,
Where are we going?
I said I'm taking care of you.
Forever and ever?
Annie Sullivan, age 9, virtually blind. James Sullivan, age 7. What's the matter with your legs, Sonny?
Forever and ever.
Can't he walk without that crutch? Girl goes to the women's ward, boy to the men's.
Honey, don't let him take me. Honey!
Annie? Annie?
Coming!
Let Mr. Jimmy go by his sail. You've been poking that garden all day. You want to rest your feet.
I can't wait to see her, Bonnie.
Maybe she ain't gonna be on this train neither.
Maybe she is.
Maybe she ain't.
And maybe she is. Where's Helen?
She's upstairs smelling around. She knows something funny going on.
You let out a supper as soon as Mildred's in bed. And tell Captain Keller when he comes that we'll be delayed tonight.
Again?
Well, I don't think we need to say again. Simply delayed will do.
I mean, that what he gonna say? Whoa, Cam?
Yes, we're expecting someone from our Helen. Oh dear, this was clean out an hour ago. Oh, here, for while I'm gone. I don't think one peppermint drop will spoil your supper.
Jimmy,
Sir?
you don't look dressed for anything useful, boy.
I'm not. It's for Miss Sullivan.
Needn't keep holding up that poach. We got wooden posts for that. I asked you to see that those strawberry plants were moved this evening.
Well, I'm moving your Mrs. Keller instead to the station.
Mrs. Keller. Must you always speak of her as though you haven't even met the lady?
Mother. Well, I said mother.
Captain,
Evening, my dear.
we're off to meet the train, Captain. Supper will be a trifle delayed tonight.
What, again?
With your permission, Captain.
What's wrong, honey? Your mama? Guess one little tea cake ain't gonna ruin your appetite.
She's gone. She's gone. My son and I don't get along. You don't know I'm your father. Nobody likes me, and supper's delayed. Here, I brought you some stick candy. One nibble of sweets can't do any harm.
Captain Keller, now how am I gonna get her to eat her supper, you fill over that trash?
Tend to your work.
Miss Sullivan?
Here! At last. I've been on trains for so many days, I thought they must be backing up every time I dozed off.
I'm James Keller.
James. I had a brother, Jimmy. Are you Helen's?
Well, I'm only half a brother. You're to be her governess?
Well, try.
You look like half a governess. Mrs. Keller? Miss Sullivan.
We've met every train for 2 days.
I changed trains every time they stopped. The man who sold me that ticket ought to be tied to the tracks.
You have a trunk, Miss Sullivan?
Yes. You didn't bring Helen. I was hoping you would.
No, she's home.
You live far from town, Mrs. Keller?
Only a mile.
Oh, well, I suppose I can wait one more mile. But don't be surprised if I get out to push the horse.
Helen's waiting for you, too. There's been such a bustle in the house, she expects something. Heaven knows what. I expected a desiccated spinster. You're very young.
Oh, you should have seen me when I left Boston. I got much older on this trip.
I mean, to teach anyone as difficult as Helen.
Well, I mean to try. They can't put you in jail for trying.
Is it possible, even, to teach a deaf, blind child half of what an ordinary child learns? Has that ever been done?
Half?
A tenth?
No. Dr. Howe did wonders. But an ordinary child? No, never. But then I thought when I was going over his reports, he never treated them like ordinary children. More like eggs everyone was afraid would break.
May I ask how old you are?
Well, I'm not in my teens, you know. I'm 20.
All of 20.
Mrs. Keller, don't lose heart just because I'm not on my last legs. I have 3 big advantages over Dr. Howe that money couldn't buy for you. One is his work behind me. Why, I've read every word he wrote about it. And he wasn't exactly what you'd call a man of few words. Another is to be young. Why, I've got energy to do anything. And the third is, I've been blind.
Advantages.
Well, some have the luck of the Irish, and some do not.
What will you try to teach her first?
First, last, and in between. Language.
Language?
Language is to the mind more than light is to the eye. Dr. House said that.
Language. We can't get through to teach her to sit still. You are young, despite your years. To have such confidence. Do you, inside?
No. To tell you the truth, I'm as shaky inside as a baby's rattle.
Don't be. We'll do all we can to help and to make you feel at home. Don't think of us as strangers, Miss Annie.
Oh, strangers aren't so strange to me. I've known them all my life.
Captain Keller! Captain Kelly, come in! Sure enough came, Captain.
Welcome to our degree, Miss Sullivan. I take it you are Miss Sullivan.
My husband, Miss Annie, Captain Keller.
Captain, how do you do?
A pleasure to see you at last. I trust you had an agreeable journey.
Oh, I had several. This country gets so big.
Where would you like the trunk, Father?
Where Miss Sullivan can get at it, I imagine.
Yes, please. Where's Helen?
In the hall, Jimmy.
We put you in the upstairs corner room. If there's any breeze at all this summer, you'll feel it.
And the suitcase.
Oh, no, I'll take the suitcase.
Not at all, Miss Sullivan. I have it.
Well, I'd like it.
I couldn't think of it, Miss Sullivan. You
Well,
find
let
in
me.
the South, we view women
I've got
as the-
something in it for Helen. Thank you. When do I see her?
There. There's Helen.
Katie. She's very rough, Katie.
Oh, I like her, Captain.
Certainly a peculiar kind of young woman in the North. How old is she?
Oh, well, she's not in her teens, you know.
What's her family like shipping her off all alone this far?
I couldn't learn. She's very closed-mouthed about some things.
And why does she wear those glasses? I like to see a person's eyes when I talk
Oh,
to...
son, she was blind.
Blind?
She's had 9 operations on her eyes. One just before she left.
Blind? Good heavens. Do they expect one blind child to teach another? Does she have experience at least? How long did she teach there?
She was a pupil.
Katie, this is her first position.
She was valedictorian.
Here's a house full of grown-ups can't cope with a child. How can an inexperienced, half-blind Yankee schoolgirl manager?
Great improvement. Now we have 2 of them to look after.
You look after those strawberry plants.
Nothing I say is right. Will I say anything?
Don't be long, Captain. We'll serve supper right away.
All the trouble I went through, and that's how I look. Oh, no, not the drawers. All right, Miss O'Sullivan. Let's begin with doll. D. O. L. L. Doll.
You spell pretty well. Finding out if she's ticklish? She is. What is it, a game?
An alphabet.
Alphabet?
For the deaf. Oh, how bright she is!
You think she knows what she's doing? She imitates everything. She's a monkey.
Yes, she's a bright little monkey, all right.
She wants a doll back.
And she spells.
Spell? She doesn't even know the thing has a name.
Of course not, to expect her to now. I'll abuse her fingers to learn the letters.
Won't mean anything to her.
Oh,
Doesn't like that alphabet, Miss Sullivan. You invent it yourself?
Spanish monks and their vowel silence, which I wish you'd take. Cake. From Washington up north. It's the best I can do. C. A. K. E. Do what my fingers do. Never mind what it means. Oh, get it done fast. Maybe I'll steal that back too. Now. T. O. L. L. Think it over. L. Imitate now. Understand later. End of the first letter. Ah! Oh, you little wretch! Oh, you little man! Helen! 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 Let's go!
buffalo gal, are you come out tonight, come out tonight, come out tonight.
Oh, don't worry, they'll find you. You're not lost, only out of place. And toothless. Oh, it hurts.
Keep that brat shut up, can't you, girlie? How's a bunny gonna sleep in this damn floor?
It hurts. It hurts.
Shut up, you!
Honey, when we're going home, you promised.
Jimmy.
Forever and ever. Except forever. Honey? Honey, there? Honey, it hurts.
Grab it, he's falling!
Honey!
Little girl, I must tell you, your brother will be going on a...
The supper's ready, Jimmy. Will you call your father?
Certainly. Father, supper!
No need to shout. I've been cooling my heels for an hour. Sit down.
Certainly.
Viney?
Yes, Captain, right here.
Mildred went directly to sleep, Granny?
I don't know, Miss Kate. Somehow she didn't have much of an appetite tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't say the same for my part. I'm famished.
Where's Miss Annie?
She's in her room.
In her room? Doesn't she know hot food must be eaten hot? Go bring her down at once, Jimmy.
Certainly. I'll get a ladder.
What?
Well, I'll need a ladder. It shouldn't take me long.
What shouldn't take you long?
Jimmy, do as I say. Go upstairs at once and tell Miss Sullivan supper is getting cold.
She's locked in her room.
Locked in her...
Come on, Dorothy.
Helen locked her in and made off with the key.
Can you sit here and say nothing?
Well, everyone's been telling me not to say anything.
Bonnie, look out back for Helen. See if she has that key.
Yes, Miss
She's
Kate.
out by the pump! Miss Sullivan, are you in there?
Oh, I'm in here all right.
Is there no key on your side?
Well, if there were a key in here, I wouldn't be in here. Helen took it. The only thing on my side is me.
Miss Sullivan, not in the house 10 minutes. I don't see how you managed it.
And even I'm not on my side.
Viney,
Yes, Captain.
put the meat back in the oven.
She has no key.
Nonsense. She must have the key. Have you searched her pockets?
Yes, she doesn't have it.
Katie, she must have the key.
Would you prefer to search her yourself, Captain?
No, I do not prefer to search her. She nearly took my kneecap off this evening when I tried merely to take that ladder back.
Certainly.
She could have hidden the key.
Where?
Anywhere. Under a stone, in the flower beds, in the grass.
I can't plow up the entire grounds just to find a missing key. Jimmy,
Sir?
bring me a ladder.
Certainly.
Oh, what's Mildred doing up?
Captain woke a ma'am, all that hollering.
Miss Sullivan,
Yes, Captain Keller.
come out.
I don't see how I can.
I intend to carry you.
There isn't room.
Climb out on my shoulders and hold on tight.
Oh, no, it's very chivalrous of you, but I'd really prefer to
Miss
go down.
Sullivan, follow instructions. I'll not have you also tumbling out of our windows. I hope this is not a sample of what we can expect from you in the way of simplifying our work, looking after Helen.
Captain Keller, I'm perfectly able to go down the
I
ladder.
doubt it. Simply hold on to my neck, Miss Sullivan. My neck, Miss Sullivan.
I'm sorry to inconvenience you.
No inconvenience other than having the door taken down and the lock replaced if we can't find that key.
Oh, I'll look everywhere for it.
Thank you. Only don't look in any rooms that can be locked. There.
Thank you very much.
Go back to your work. What's everyone looking at here? There's nothing to look at here. Now, Would it be possible for us to have supper like other people?
Bonnie, serve supper. I'll put Mildred to sleep.
Might as well leave the L-A-D-D-E-R, hmm?
You devil. Oh, you think I'm so easily gotten rid of? You have a thing or two to learn first. I have nothing else to do. And nowhere to go.
Miss Sullivan!
Nobody here has attempted to control her. The greatest problem I have is how to discipline her without breaking her spirit. But I shall insist on reasonable ink. Ink has a name. Down, under, up. And be careful of the needle. Fine. You keep out of the ink. And perhaps I can keep out of the soup. These blots are her handy work. All right, let's try temperance. Bad girl.
Very good girl. What are you saying to her?
Oh, I was just making conversation. Saying it was a sewing card.
But does that mean that to her? No.
No, she won't know what spelling is till she knows what a word is.
Yet you keep spelling to her. Why?
I like to hear myself talk.
The captain says it's like spelling to the fence post.
Does he now?
Is it?
No. It's how I watch you talk to Mildred.
Mildred?
Any baby. It's gibberish. Grown-up gibberish. Baby talk gibberish. Do they understand one word of it to start? Somehow they begin to. Well, if they hear it. I'm letting Helen hear it.
Other children are not impaired.
Oh, there's nothing impaired in that head. It works like a mousetrap.
After child hears how many words, Miss Annie? 1 million?
I guess no mother's ever minded enough to count.
What'd she spell?
I spelled card. She spelled cake. No, it's only a finger game to her, Mrs. Keller. What she has to learn first is that things have names.
When will she learn?
Maybe after 1,000,001 words.
I should like to learn those letters, Miss Annie.
I'll teach you tomorrow morning. Well, that makes only 500,000 each.
It's her bedtime. I'm sorry, Miss Annie.
Why does she get a reward? For stabbing me!
Well, we catch all flies with honey, I'm afraid. We haven't the heart for much else. And so many times she simply cannot be compelled.
Yes, I'm the same way myself. The more I think, the more certain I am that obedience is the gateway through which knowledge enters the mind of the child.
but shouldn't we give the devil his due, Father? The fact is, we lost the South 2 years earlier when we outfought us behind Vicksburg.
Outthought's a peculiar word for a butcher.
Honest maker, wasn't he?
I said butcher. His only virtue as a soldier was numbers, and he led them to slaughter with no more regard than for so many sheep.
But even if in that sense he was a butcher, the fact is...
And a drunken one half the war.
Agreed, Father. If his own people said he was, I can't argue he wasn't.
What is it, Jimmy, you seem to admire in such a man? The butchery or the drunkenness?
Neither, Father. Only the fact that he beat us.
He didn't.
Is it your contention we won the war, sir?
He didn't beat us at Vicksburg. We lost Vicksburg because Pemberton gave Bragg 5,000 of his cavalry. And Loring, whom I personally knew for a nincompoop before you were born, marched away from Champions Hill with enough men to have held them. We lost Vicksburg by stupidity verging on treason.
I would have said we lost Vicksburg because Grant was one thing no Yankee general was before him.
Drunk? I doubt it.
Obstinate.
Obstinate? Could any of them compare even with that with old Stonewall? If he had been there, we'd still have Vicksburg.
Well, the butcher simply wouldn't give up. He tried 4 ways of getting around Vicksburg, and on the 5th try, he got around. Anyone else
He
would have
wouldn't
pulled
have got around if we had a Southerner in command instead of that half-breed Yankee trader Pemberton. What's the matter there?
Miss Annie, you see she's accustomed to helping herself from our plates to
Yes,
anything.
but I'm not accustomed to it.
Of course not, Viney.
Give her something, Jimmy, to quiet her.
Well, her table manners are the best she has.
Well, let her this time, Miss Sullivan. It's the only way to get any adult conversation. If my son's half merits that description, I'll get you another plate.
I have a plate, thank you.
Bonnie! I'm afraid what Captain Keller says is only too true. She'll persist in this until she gets her own way.
Viney, bring Miss Sullivan another plate.
I have a plate, there's nothing wrong with a plate, I had to keep it.
Ha! You see why they took Vicksburg?
Miss Sullivan, one plate or another is hardly a matter to struggle with a deprived child about.
Oh, I thought I was a more heroic issue myself.
Now, I must insist you. Oh, now she's hurt herself.
She hasn't.
Will you please let her hands go?
Miss Annie, you don't know the child well enough yet.
I don't know ordinary tattoo well enough when I see one. And a badly spoiled child.
Yeah.
Miss Sullivan, you'd have more understanding of your pupil if you had some pity in you. Now, kindly do...
Pity? For this tyrant! The whole house turns on her whims. Is there anything she wants she doesn't get? I'll tell you what I pity. That the sun won't rise and set for her all her life, and every day you're telling her it will. What good will your pity do her when you're under the strawberries, Captain Keller?
Kate, for the love of heaven, will you...
Miss Annie, please. I don't think it serves to
It does you good, that's all. It's less trouble to feel sorry for her than to teach her anything better, isn't it?
I fail to see where you've taught her anything yet, Miss Sullivan.
Begin this minute if you'll leave the room, Captain Keller.
Leave the...
Everyone to please.
Miss Sullivan, you are here as a paid teacher, nothing more, and not to lecture.
I can unteach her 12 years of pity if you can't stand to one tantrum. Old Stonewall, indeed. Mrs. Keller, you promised me help.
Indeed I did. I truly want to.
Then leave me alone with her now.
Kate, will you come outside with me at once, please?
Stay out, please.
If it takes all summer, General.
This girl, this cover girl presumes. I tell you, I'd have mind to ship her back to Boston before the week is out. You can inform her so from me.
I, Captain.
She's a hireling. Now, I want it clear that unless there's an apology and a complete change of manner, she goes back on the next train. Will you make that quite clear?
And where will you be, Captain, while I'm making it quite clear?
At the office.
Will you? I thought what you said was exceptionally intelligent. I've been saying it for years.
To his face? Oh, will you take it to me? As a flag.
What am I gonna do, Miss Kate? It's noontime, dinner's coming. I ain't get the breakfast dishes out of there yet.
Martha, Percy, you run along now.
Oh, I can't wait out here a minute longer, Kate. Why, this could go on all afternoon, too.
I'll tell the captain you called.
You hear what Miss Kate say? You know what's going on here. You run along and tend your own business.
Shoo. Say what you like, Kate, but that child is a Keller. And I need remind you that all the Kellers are cousins to General Robert E. Lee. I don't know who that girl is. The only Sullivan I've ever heard of from Boston, too. And I think twice before locking her up with that kind. Is that boxer John L.
You give it to me, Miss Kate. I'll sneak her back to her crib.
This child never gives me a minute's worry.
Yes, this one's the angel of the family. No question about that.
What happened?
She ate from her own plate. She ate with a spoon. Herself. And she folded her napkin.
Folded a napkin?
The room's a wreck, but her napkin is folded. I'll be in my room, Mrs. Keller.
Don't be long, Miss Annie. Dinner be ready right away.
Folded a napkin. My Helen. Folded a napkin.
This soul, this blind, deaf, mute woman, can nothing be done to disinter this human soul? The whole neighborhood would rush to save this woman if she were buried alive by the caving in of a pit, and labor with zeal until she were dug out. Now, if there were one who had as much patience as zeal, he might awaken her to a consciousness of her mortal nature.
Honey? Are you there?
Hush.
Honey? What's that noise?
Just a cot, Jimmy.
What's the pushing it?
To the dead house?
Honey, does it hurt to be dead?
There's schools outside. Schools where they teach blind ones who are seeing. To read and write. There's schools outside. There's schools. There's schools outside. Schools where they teach blind ones who are seeing. To read and write. There's schools outside. There's schools.
You ain't going to school, are you, honey?
When I grow up,
You ain't tired there. You're going to stay here and take care of me.
I'm going to school when I grow up.
But you said we'd be together forever and ever and ever.
I'm going to school when I grow up.
Little girl, I must tell you, your brother will be going on a journey soon.
Goodbye, Annie.
Write me when you learn how.
tell anyone you came from here. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah, don't tell anyone you came from here.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone you came from here. Don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone you came from here. Yeah, don't tell anyone.
Don't tell anyone you came from here. Don't tell.
Honey, it hurts to be dead forever.
Might awaken her to a consciousness of her immortal nature. The chance is small indeed. But with a lesser chance they would have dug desperately for her in the pit. And is the life of the soul of less import than that of the body?
Katie, I will not have it. Now, you did not see when that girl this evening went to look for Helen in her room.
No?
The child practically climbed out of the window to escape from her. What kind of a teacher is she? I thought I saw her at her worst this morning, shouting at me. And then I come home to find the whole house disorganized by her. Helen won't stay for 1 second in the same room with her. Won't come to the table with her. Won't let herself be bathed, undressed, or put to bed by her. Or even by Viney now. And the end result is you have to do more for the child than before we hired that girl's services. From the moment she stepped off the train, she's been nothing but a burden, incompetent, impertinent, ineffectual, immodest.
She folded her napkin, Captain.
What?
Not ineffectual. Helen did fold her napkin.
What in heaven's name is so extraordinary about folding a napkin?
Well, it's more than you did, Captain.
Katie, I did not ask you all the way out here to the garden house to be frivolous. Now, how does Miss Sullivan propose to teach a deaf, blind child who won't let her even touch her?
I don't know.
The fact is she's scuttled any chance of ever getting along with a child. If you can see any point or purpose in her remaining in our employ, it's more than I
What do you
can...
wish me to do?
I want you to give her notice.
I can't.
Well, if you won't, I must. I simply will not have... Miss Sullivan.
Captain Keller, finally said I'd find you both over here in the garden house. I thought we should have a talk.
Yes, well, won't you come in? Katie?
Captain?
I wanted to make my position clear to Mrs. Keller here in private. I have decided I am not satisfied. In fact, am deeply dissatisfied in the manner in...
Is this little house ever in use?
In the hunting season. If I could have your attention, Miss Sullivan. I've tried to make allowances for you because you come from a part of the country where people, well, women, I should say, come from who, well, from whom allowances must be made. Nevertheless, I've decided Miss Sullivan, I find it difficult to talk through those glasses.
Oh, of course.
Why do you wear them? The sun's been down for an hour.
Any kind of light hurts my eyes.
Put them on, Miss Sullivan. I've decided to give you another chance.
To do what?
To remain in our employ, but on 2 conditions. I am not accustomed to rudeness in servants or women. That is the first. If you are to stay, there must be a radical change of manner.
Whose?
Yours, young lady, isn't it obvious? And the second is you persuade me there's the slightest hope of you teaching a child who flees from you now like the plague to anyone else she can find in this house.
Well, there isn't.
What, Miss Annie?
It's hopeless here. I can't teach a child who runs away.
Then do I understand you propose
Well, if we
to...
all agree it's hopeless, the next question is what to do.
Miss Annie, I am not agreed. I think perhaps you underestimate Helen.
I think everybody else here does.
What does that mean?
She folded her napkin. She learns. She learns. Do you know she began talking when she was 6 months old? She could say water. Not really. Wawa. Wawa. But she meant water. She knew what it meant. And only 6 months old. I never saw a child so bright, outgoing. It's still in her somewhere, isn't it? You should have seen her before her illness. Such a good-tempered child.
She's changed.
Miss Annie, put up with it. And with us.
Us?
Please. Like the lost lamb in the parable. I love her all the more.
Mrs. Keller, I don't think Helen's worst handicap is deafness or blindness. I think it's your love and pity.
Now, what does that mean?
All of you here are so sorry for her, you've kept her like a pet. Why, even a dog, you housebreak. No wonder she won't let me come near her. It's useless for me to try to teach her language or anything else here. Well, I might as well go back to Boston and
Miss Annie, before you came, we spoke of putting her in an asylum.
What kind of asylum?
For mental defectives.
I visited there. I can't tell you what I saw. People like animals, with rats in the halls and... What else are we to do if you give up?
Give up?
Well, you said it was hopeless.
Here. Give up. Why, only today I saw what has to be done to begin. I want complete charge of her.
You already have that. It's
No,
resulted
I
in...
mean day and night. She has to be dependent on me.
For what?
Everything. The food she eats, the clothes she wears, fresh air. Yes, the air she breathes. Whatever her body needs is a primer to teach her out of. It's the only way. The one who lets her have it should be her teacher, not anyone who loves her. You have so many feelings, they fall over each other like feet. You won't use your chances and you won't let me.
What if she runs from you to us?
Yes, that's the point. I'll have to live with her somewhere else.
What?
Till she learns to depend on and listen to me.
For how long?
As long as it takes. I packed half my things already.
Miss Sullivan.
Captain Keller, it meets both your conditions. It's the one way I can get back in touch with Helen. And I don't see how I can be rude to you again if you're not around to interfere with me.
And what's your intention if I say no? Pack the other half for home and abandon your charge to the...
The asylum! I grew up in such an asylum. The state almshouse. Rats! Why, my brother Jimmy and I used to play with the rats because we didn't have toys. Maybe you'd like to know what Helen will find there not on visiting days. One ward was full of the old women. Blind, crippled, most of them dying. Oh, but even what they had was catching, there was nowhere else to move them. And that's where they put us. There were younger ones across the hall. Prostitutes mostly, with TB and epileptic fits. And a couple of the kind that keep after other girls. Especially young ones. And some insane. Some just had the DTs. The youngest would another ward have babies they didn't want. They started at 13, 14. Oh, they'd leave afterwards, but the babies stayed. And we played with them too. A lot of them had sores all over. From diseases you're not supposed to talk about. But not many of them lived. The first year we had 80, 70 died. The room Jimmy and I played in was a dead house where they got the bones dug and dig the graves. No, it made me strong. But I don't think you need send Helen there. She's strong enough. No. I have have no conditions, Captain Keller.
Miss Annie,
Yes?
where would you take Helen?
Oh, Italy?
What?
Can't have everything. How would this garden house do? Furnish it, bring Helen here after a long ride so she wouldn't recognize it. Well, and you can see her every day if she doesn't know. Well,
Is that all?
that's all.
Captain, with your permission.
Why must she depend upon you for the food she eats?
I want control of it.
Why?
It's a way to reach her.
You intend to starve her into letting you touch her?
She won't starve, she'll learn. All's fair in love and war, Captain Keller. You never cut supplies?
This is hardly a war.
Well, it's not love. A siege is a siege.
Miss Sullivan, do you like the child?
Do you?
You could have a servant here.
I'll have enough work without looking after a servant. But that girl Percy could sleep here, run errands.
We can let Percy sleep here, I think, Captain.
And some old furniture, all our own.
Captain, do you think that walnut bedstead in the barn would be too...
I have not consented to Percy, or to this house, or to the proposal, or to Miss Sullivan staying on when I... Very well. I consent to everything. For 2 weeks. I'll give you 2 weeks in this place, and it'll be a miracle if you get the child to tolerate you.
2 weeks? Can you accomplish anything in 2 weeks?
Anything or not, 2 weeks and the child comes back to us. Make up your mind, Miss Sullivan, yes or no.
2 weeks. For only one miracle. I'll get it to tolerate me.
You can't think as little of love as you said? Or you wouldn't stay.
I didn't come here for love. I came for money. A. It's the first of many. 26. I always wanted to live in a doll's house.
You don't give up easily, do you? How will you win her hand now in this place?
Do I know? I lost my temper, and here we are.
No touching, no teaching. Well, of course you are bigger.
I'm not counting on force. I'm counting on her. That little imp is dying to know.
Know what?
Anything. Any and every crumb in God's creation. I'll have to use that appetite, too.
Maybe she'll teach you.
Of course.
That she isn't. That there is such a thing as dullness of heart. Acceptance and letting go. Sooner or later we all give up, don't we?
Maybe you all do. It's my idea of the original sin.
What is?
Giving up?
You won't open her. Why can't you let her be? Have some pity on her for being what she is.
If I ever once thought like that, I'd be dead.
Well, you will be. Why trouble? Or will you teach me?
Does she know where she is?
We rode her out in the country for 2 hours.
For all she knows, she could be in another town.
Well, that's a sign for me.
I know. In 2 weeks.
Oh, but Miss Annie, Please be good to her. These 2 weeks. Try to be very good to her.
I will. What did I get into now?
I can't understand it. I had every intention of dismissing that girl, not setting her up like an empress.
Yes. What's her secret, sir?
Secret?
That enables her to get anything she wants out of you when I can't.
She does not get anything she wants.
Don't!
Captain! He's afraid. What's he want out of me?
My God, don't you know? Everything you forgot when you forgot my mother!
What? One thing that girl's secret is not, she doesn't fire one shot and then disappear. Katie, don't mind it. Katie,
Captain, I am proud of you.
For what?
For letting this girl have what she needs.
Why can't my son be? He can't bear me. It's as though I treat him as hard as that girl does Helen.
Perhaps you do.
But he has to learn some respect.
Do you like the child? How empty this house is tonight.
No! No pity! I won't have it. On either of us. I will touch you! How? How? How do I... Percy. Percy! Percy, wake up! Get out of bed and come in here. I need you. Percy, you awake?
No, ma'am.
How would you like to play a nice game?
What?
With Helen. She's on the bed. Touch her hand.
Let me go! She's trying to talk. She's gonna hit me!
She can talk. If she only knew. I'll show you how. She makes letters. This is C. C. She's mad at me now. She won't play. Oh, but she knows lots of letters. Here's another. A, C, A, C, A, K, E. She spells cake, she gets cake. Oh, she doesn't know yet it means this. Isn't it funny she knows how to spell it and doesn't know she knows? Well, if she won't play it with me, I'll play it with you. Would you like to learn one she doesn't know yet?
No, ma'am.
M-I-L-K. I miss this. I. That's an easy one, just a little finger. L. Is this. No, why should I talk to you? I'm teaching Percy a new word. K is. Ah! So you're jealous, are you? All right. Good. So I'm finally back to where I can touch you. Touch and go. No love lost, but here we go. You can go to bed now. You've earned your sleep. Thank you. Now all I have to teach you is one word. Everything. Hush, little baby. Don't say a word. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird. And if that mockingbird don't sing, Mama's gonna buy you a diamond ring. And if that diamond ring turns brass, Mama's gonna buy you a looking glass. W-A-T-E-R. Water. It has a name. Egg. E-G-G. It has a name. The name stands for the thing. Oh, it's so simple. Simple as birth to explain. only one way out for you, and it's language. To learn that your fingers can talk and say anything. Anything you can name. This is Mug. Mug. M-U-G. Helen, it has a name. It has a name.
You haven't eaten, Katie.
I haven't appetite. I'm too restless. I can't sit to it.
You should eat, my dear. It'll be a long day waiting.
But it's been a short 2 weeks. I never thought life could be so noiseless. Went by much too quickly for me.
C-A-R-D. Card. C-A-R-D. Card.
Well, the house has been practically normal,
Jay.
hasn't it? Well, is it wrong to enjoy a quiet breakfast after 11 years? And you two seem to enjoy each other.
It'd be more noiseless, Jenny, without your tongue running on every minute. Haven't you enough feeling to imagine what Katie's been undergoing ever since?
It's true. The 2 weeks have been normal, quiet, all you say. Oh, short, interminable.
W-A-T-E-R. But it means this. W-A-T-E-R. This. W-A-T.
I only meant that Miss Sullivan is a boon. Intentional, it seems.
If and when you're a parent, Jimmy, you'll understand what separation means. A mother loses a protector.
Hmm?
You'll learn we don't just keep our children safe, they keep us safe. There are, of course, all kinds of separation. Katie's lived with one kind for 11 years, and another is disappointment in a child.
I feel every day more and more inadequate.
Kate. I'm sorry. Open my mouth like that fairy tale, frogs jump out.
No, it has been better for everyone.
Kate, what does he want from me?
That's not the question. Stand up to the world, Jimmy.
But the world is him.
Yes. And no one can do it for you.
Kate, at least could you be my friend?
I am.
My mind is undisciplined, full of skips and jumps and disinterested, disjoined, disinterested, disjoined. Where's discipline? What a dictionary. You have to know how to spell it before you can look up how to spell it. Disciple, discipline, discipline, undisciplined.
What are you doing to your eyes?
It's worse on my vanity. I'm learning how to spell. It's like a surprise party. The most unexpected characters turn up.
You're not to hurt your eyes, Miss Annie.
Well, whatever I spell to Helen, I'd better spell right.
How serene she is.
She learned the stitch yesterday. Now I can't get her to stop. such a little lady. She'd sooner starve than eat with her fingers.
You've taught us so much these 2 weeks. I would
Not
never...
enough. Obedience isn't enough. Well, she learned to announce this morning. Key and water. Brings her up to 18 nouns and 3 verbs.
But not...
No. Not that they mean things. It's still a finger game, no meaning. Mrs. Keller, shall we play our finger game?
How will she learn it?
It will come.
How?
How does a bird learn to fly? We were born to use words. Like wings, it has to come.
How?
All right, I don't know how. I've done everything I could think of. Whatever she's learned here, keeping herself clean, crocheting, stringing beads, meals, setting up exercises each morning. We climb trees, hunt eggs. Yesterday a chick was born in her hands. All of it I spell. Everything we do, we never stop spelling. I go to bed with writer's cramp from talking so much.
I worry about you, Miss Annie. You must rest.
Now, she spells back in her sleep. Her fingers make letters when she doesn't know. In her bones, those 5 fingers know. That hand aches to speak out. And something in her mind is asleep. How do I nudge that awake? That's the one question.
With no answer.
Except to keep at it. Like this.
More time? Here?
Spell it.
Because I...
Spell it. If she ever learns, you'll have a lot to tell each other. Start now.
Miss Sullivan, on my way to the office, I stopped by to see Helen.
Outside, please, Captain Keller.
Dear, the 2 weeks is up today. Surely
They're
you
not
don't
up to
object.
6 o'clock.
What difference can a fraction of 1 day make?
An agreement is an agreement. Now, you've been very good. I'm sure you can keep it up for a few more hours.
Miss Sullivan, you are a tyrant.
Likewise, I'm sure.
I don't think you know how eager we are to have her back in our arms.
I do know. It's my main worry.
We miss the child. It's like expecting a new child in the house. Why, she's so composed, so attractive. You've done wonders for her, Miss Sullivan.
Have I?
If there's anything you want from us in repayment, tell us. It'll be a privilege
I just told Mrs. Keller. I want more time.
Miss Annie.
Another week.
We miss the child. I miss her, I'm glad to say. That's a different debt I owe you.
Well, pay it to Helen. Give her another week.
Doesn't she miss us?
Of course she does. What a wrench this unexplainable exile must be to her. Can you say it's not?
No, but I think that if I...
And doesn't she need affection, too?
She never shows me she needs it. I mean, she won't have any caressing or any...
But you're not her mother.
And what would another week accomplish? We're more than satisfied. You've done more than we ever thought possible. You've taught her constructive things to do, to behave like, even look like a human child. So composed, so manageable, cleaner.
Cleaner?
Well, we say cleanliness is next to godliness.
Cleanliness is next to nothing. She has to learn that everything has its name. That words can be her eyes to everything in the world outside her. And inside, too. Why, what is she without words? With them she can think, have ideas, be reached. Well, there's not a thought or a fact in the world that can't be hers. You publish a newspaper, Captain Keller. Do I have to tell you what words
Miss
are?
Sullivan.
And she has them already. 18 nouns and 3 verbs. They're in her fingers now. I need only time to push one of them into her mind. One, and everything under the sun will follow. Don't you see what she's learned here is only clearing the way for that? I can't risk her unlearning it. Give me more time alone with her. Another week so I can continue
Look.
with her.
What is she spelling?
Water?
Teaching a doll to spell. The doll doesn't know what she means any more than she knows what you mean, Miss Sullivan. I think you expect too much of her and yourself. God may not have meant for Helen to have the eyes you speak of.
I mean her too.
What's it to you? You make us see how we indulge her for our sake. Is the opposite true for you?
Half a week.
An agreement's an agreement.
Mrs. Keller!
I want her back.
I'll send Videy by to help you pack.
Not until 6 o'clock. I have her until 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Come, Katie.
No. Doll. D-O-L-L. Not water. Here. Water. Water. I don't know how to tell you. Not a soul in the world knows how to tell you, Helen. Oh, Helen. Yes. What's it to me? They're satisfied. Give them back their child, like their dog, both housebroken. And everyone's satisfied. But me. And you. Reach. Reach! I wanted to teach you. Oh, everything the earth is full of, Helen. Everything on it that's ours for a wink and it's gone. And what we are on it. The light we bring to it and leave behind in words. Why, you can see 5,000 years back in a light of words. Everything we feel, think, know, and share in words. So not a soul is in darkness, or done with, even in the grave. And I know one word, and I can put the world in your hand. And whatever it is to me, I won't take less. How? How do I tell you that this means a word? And the word means this thing. Wool. Or this. S-T-O-O-L means this thing. Stool. Napkin. Dress. F-A-C-E, face! M-O-T-H-E-R. Mother. M-O-T-H.
Let her come!
be together forever. You promise, forever, honey.
But that battle is dead and done with. Why not let it stay buried?
I think God must owe me a resurrection.
What?
And I owe God one.
Forever and ever, forever and ever, forever and ever and ever.
Miss Annie, I've been waiting to give you this.
What?
Your first month's salary, with many more to come, I trust. It doesn't express what we feel. It doesn't pay our debt for what you've done.
What have I done?
Taken a wild thing and given us back a child.
I taught her one thing. No, don't do this. Don't do that.
It's more than all of us could do in all the years.
I wanted to teach her what language is. I wanted to teach her, yes.
You'll have time.
I don't know how. I know without it, to do nothing but obeys. No gift. Obedience without understanding is full of blindness too. Is that all I've wished on her?
No.
Maybe. I don't know what else to do. Simply go on. Keep doing what I've done and have faith. That inside it's waiting. Like water underground. All I can do is keep on.
It's enough for us.
You can help, Captain Keller.
How?
Even when we know has been at the cost of much trouble and pain. Don't undo it.
Why should we wish to?
The world isn't an easy place for anyone. I don't want her just to obey. But to let her have her way in everything is a lie to her, and I can't. And I don't even love her. She's not my child. Well, you have got to stand between that lie and her.
We'll try.
Because I will, as long as you let me stay.
Agreed. We've learned something too, I hope. Now, won't you come now to supper?
Yes. Doesn't God pay his debts each month?
I beg your pardon.
Nothing. I used to wonder how I could earn a living.
Oh, you do.
I really do. Now, the question is, can I survive it?
May I?
I'll be glad to have you back too. Robin?
What? Oh, key. Yes. I'll keep the key. I think we've had enough of locked doors, too.
Evening, General.
You say the race, Jimmy?
And Jacob was left alone, and he wrestled with an angel until the breaking of the day. And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was at the joint as he wrestled with him. And the angel said, "Let me go, for the day breaketh." And Jacob said, "I will not let thee go, except thou bless me." Amen. Oh, you angel.
That's a very strange grace, James.
Will you start the muffins, Ev?
Well, it's from the good book, isn't it?
Well, of course it is. Didn't you know?
And Miss Annie?
Please.
Yes, I knew.
Then why ask?
I meant it is from the good book, and therefore a fitting grace.
Well, I don't know about that.
Miss Annie?
Thank you. There are an awful lot of things in the good book I wouldn't care to hear just before eating.
Well, fitting in the sense that Jacob's thigh was out of joint, and so is this piggy's.
Oh, I declare, James.
Pickles on tap?
Oh, I should say so. You know my opinion of your pickles.
This is the last of them, I'm afraid. I didn't put up nearly enough last summer. This year, I intend to.
Reverend stopped by the office today to complain his hens had stopped laying. Poor fella, if he was out of joint, all he could do was...
I've always suspected those hens.
Of what?
I think they're papists. Has he tried...
Now, James, you are pulling my lower extremity. Well, the next thing you know, we'll be...
Oh, Miss Annie.
No!
It's a very special day.
It will be when I get into that.
Please. I've hardly had a chance to welcome her home.
Captain Killer!
Katie, we had a little talk. Miss Annie feels if we indulge Helen in these
But what's the child done?
She's learned not to throw things on the floor and kick. It took us the best part of 2 weeks, and I don't understand.
But it's only a napkin. It's not as if it were breakable.
And everything she learned is. Mrs. Keller, I don't think we should play tug of war for her. Either give her to me, or you'll keep her from kicking.
What do you wish to do?
Let me take her from the table.
Oh, let her stay. My goodness, she is only a child. I mean, she doesn't have to use a napkin. Her first evening out,
And
she
us
does not
outsiders not interfere.
Outside. Outside. I am the child's aunt.
Will once hurt so much, Miss Annie. I've made all Helen's favorite foods tonight.
It's a homecoming party, Miss Annie.
She's testing you, you realize.
She's testing you.
Jimmy, be quiet. Now, she's home. Naturally,
I
she
want
wants...
to see what will happen with your hands. I said it was my main worry. Is this what you promised me not half an hour ago?
Well, she's not kicking now.
And not learning not to. Mrs. Keller, teaching her is bound to be painful. To everyone. I know it hurts to watch, but she'll live up to just what you demand of her and no more.
She's testing you.
Jimmy,
I have an opinion. I think I should be heard.
no one's interested in hearing
I'm
your...
interested. Or she's testing me. Let me keep her to what she's learned, and she'll go on learning from me. Take her out of my hands and it all comes apart. Be bountiful. It's at her expense. Please, pass me more of her favorite foods.
Take her, Miss Annie.
Thank you.
Now, I'm afraid you're the difficulty, Miss Annie. Now, I'll keep her to what she's learned. You're quite right there. But I don't see we need to send her from the table. After all, she's the guest of honor. Bring her plate back.
If she were a sane child, none of you would tolerate one
Well,
of them.
she's not. And I feel some compromise is called for. Bring her plate, please. There. Now, it's not unusual that most of us take some aversion to our teachers, and occasionally another hand can smooth things out. Now, shall we start all over?
I think we started all over.
Where are you going?
Don't smooth anything else up for me! Don't interfere in any way! I treat her like a seeing child because I asked her to see! I expect her to see! Don't do what I do!
Where are you taking
To
her?
let her feel this picture again!
You let her speak to you like that, Arthur? A creature who
Kate's right, I'm right, and you're wrong. If you drive her away, it will be over my dead. Has it never occurred to you that on one occasion you might be consummately wrong?
Captain?
Sit down, everyone. Jimmy, please, sit down.
All right, Pump. No, she's not here, Pump. W-A-T-E-R. Water. It has a name. W-A-T. What? 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 Yes! 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 Oh, my dear! Ground! Yes! Yes! Pump! Yes! Step! Mrs. Keller! Mrs. Keller! Bell! Mrs. Keller! Mother! Papa! She knows! Teacher. Teacher.
unbelievably gratifying for us to have worked so hard to bring this beautiful play to life and have such an overwhelming response from every audience who shared it with us. As an actor, director, and teacher, I've been on a journey to create truthful acting and actors for 10 years now, with the goal being to explore the rich, feeling human beings that we are, and through performance, touch that connection we have with the audience, bringing them along on our emotional journey, and allowing us all to experience the joy of our humanity. This is what lifts theater to the level of art, in my opinion. And to have approached that with this production is true fulfillment for me. Any production demands lots of help, and this one was the epitome of group effort. Their names are in the program, but I wanted to express a special gratitude to a few today. This cast, who gave so much of their talent, commitment, time, and energy to bring these characters to life for you. And there were many behind the scenes who gave this play its wholeness. Attempting to direct and act, I was blessed with many angels who made both of these jobs possible, taking on responsibilities that freed me to do other things. Kent Sugg and McKenna Klein, who stepped in at the last minute as understudy so that the show could go on as it must, enabling us to meet our performance commitments to you. Michael Wynn and McKenna Klein, who ran the lights show after show, no small feat for this play, and Ella Hall, one of our blind children, that used her extra-developed sense of hearing to run the sound for us as well. Laura Smith, who not only worked as an actress, but brought her expertise and technical skills to make the lights actually work and shine where and when we wanted them, and who also trained our lighting techs, a huge contribution. Dave Tanner, another committed actor who worked very hard expanding our publicity to make sure the community knew what we were doing so that we could have audiences. Benine Lane, who stepped in out of the blue to solve some serious costume crises. Lenora Boyle, who kept the concession table stocked with drinks, and the actors and parents, who made dozens of cookies for many of the performances. Christy Wynn, who managed the house so that I didn't have to worry about anything when I needed to focus on being an actor. Jonathan Whipple, who pretty single-handedly made most of the set pieces and came in regularly to put the chairs back together, making sure everything worked so that the actors would have no worries. And finally, the gods truly smiled on me with this show, sending me Cynthia Gannon, who was a tremendous She was a tremendous organizing power for all the props and stage business. She attended every rehearsal and was a committed and loving director's assistant. I am blessed and deeply grateful to all of you. We absolutely could not have pulled the show off without each of you. My heart is full to overflowing. Thank you. You are all miracles. I love you, and thank you so much.